What is going on, guys? I have a theory for you, and it's based off of Bran. Everybody was wondering what Bran was doing during that scene where the Night King is approaching him and then eventually gets killed. It's like he's not doing anything at all. And I have a theory for you. I think that Bran from the future was green seeing back to that moment and might have helped out in some possible way, or was just kind of witnessing it, kind of like he witnessed the actual Night King be created to an extent. So he's also witnessing him being destroyed. And this theory is actually based off of a couple things. One thing, the main thing, is the scene where the White Walker's hair blows back really stood out to me. It seemed weird. It can be construed as Arya just flying through the air or jumping or running really fast blows their hair back, but that just doesn't happen. That doesn't make any sense. So I thought there was something magical going on. Something was going on. So I also looked into, essentially, the showrunners knew that Arya was going to kill the Night King for 3 seasons, so they built it into the show. They showed little dagger parts, just little lines throughout the show with Melisandre, all that stuff. So then I started diving deeper. I started looking at old clips of Bran's visions. And then I just kept looking. I went to bed. Next day I kept looking, and then I started seeing stuff. I started seeing correlations between the visions. So in most visions, some are more concrete than others, something moves in the background, okay? A gust of wind picks something up, like a magical gust of wind, like just a transfer of power throughout the scene. And it happens in most of the scenes, okay? So the first one we're going to go over is the tower. I think it's the Tower of Joy. It's the scene right after Ned kills the Sword of the Morning. And this one's the least, this one has the least evidence because it could be the actual wind. But essentially when Bran yells out to Ned, I think he yells out dad or father or something like that, Ned turns around. And in the background you can see I guess the saddle, part of the saddle blows in the wind, like something's moving through it. Now this is the least concrete one because because Ned's hair kind of moves too. But that was one thing I saw. But then we're gonna move on to that one. That one's iffy. Okay, we're gonna move on to the scene right before Hodor, the whole Hodor part. Okay, so essentially they're in the Children of the Forest cave or whatever, and the Night King is attacking. Okay, and Bran is in their vision, and the chick, Bran's, could have been girlfriend, yelling, Borgin to Hodor, Worgen to Hodor. And then as he's like, it seems like he's about to do it, the flag, literally the flag right behind him, which doesn't even look like a real flag, it looks CGI, so they did it on purpose, what it seems to me. The flag folds over and flows to the right. And I was like, that's kind of weird. And I was like, okay. So then it goes on to the next scene where Bloodraven is like, go, Bran, you gotta go. And then the Night King cuts him in half. And then as he gets cut in half, his spirit, or remnants of what he is, flows in the air and pushes the flags in the same direction. Which was kind of weird because this is like a different time to an extent, and he's actually moving the environment inside of it. So that was weird too. And the thing is it makes a similar noise. They both flow in the same direction at the same pace, kind of, and it has like seriously, it's like the same pitch. Like it's just a flow of energy. So then we come back to the scene from before the Night King dies and the hair blows. I swear to you, there is something to do with either the not the Blood Red, the Three-Eye Raven in general, or just future Bran is here. He's watching it. There's also this little scene where Bran, he's looking at the Night King, and then he looks down, and he looks back up. And there's multiple meanings to this, I believe. One, he could be looking at himself. He's like, oh shit, me from the future's here. Something's going on. Or he was hinting to Arya. He maybe sensed Arya was coming, but then the Night King looks at him, and it's like, like he just, gave away his secret or something. And then I think the Night King then knows that Arya is behind him, and he turns. Then he gets stabbed and killed, but I haven't dove any deeper than that. I just know from what I've seen and the way the show is written that Bran was there, okay? He freaking was watching the night. He was watching that all go down, okay? There's just that transfer of energy, okay? It wasn't Arya, it was him. And that's what I believe. And I'm going to go more into it. There's some stuff about the tree. If you notice the tree, there's you can see a bunch of bodies, like 40 bodies of all the Ironborn. None of them were brought back to life, and it's either because Bran has some ability where stuff right next to him can't get brought back, or it's the tree itself. But that tree's got some, some power too. So I might dive into that later, depending on how well this video does. But that is my theory. Bran was green seeing back in time. I'm Dude in His Room. Like, comment, subscribe, and roll with it. Thank you, guys.